Hello guys, and welcome back to Show You Can, the channel we discuss all things Capcom and Capcom content. So of course, if you're into Capcom, then please think about liking and subscribing, as that would mean a lot. And of course, I just want to help and get that message out there, because that's always very important. And also, I am close to 400 subscribers, and it would definitely mean a lot for me to kind of get to that milestone, right? But again, I appreciate all the support I've been getting right now, and definitely I want to keep going and sharing this wonderful content and love of Capcom games with the rest of y'all. So this video is going to be not too long. I kind of just want to talk about Capcom in general and the state of the company at the moment and where they're at. You know, if you're a Capcom fan right now, you're eating well, right? You're eating really well. This is one of the few times, really in a while, where Capcom's kind of been on the ball, and they've definitely been doing things that are just really out of this world and fantastic, right? They really seem to be listening to fans for once and actually providing and giving us things that, you know, we ask for and want, right? Not everything, of course. There's still some things we all wish we could have, like, you know, I don't know, a new Darkstalker game, or I don't know, a new Mega Man game or something. But again, I do understand. I get the situation, I get the climate. You can't just put out whatever you want. Not to mention, you know, you have to make sure that people will purchase and buy these games, because at the end of the day, this is a business, right? They cannot just do whatever people want if it's not going to make them money, because they have to survive, right? So they have to look at their audience, look at their games, look at what's happening in the world right now, look at what sells and what works, and kind of stick to that and push that forward. So I get it, but still, it would be nice if they kind of did once in a while take a little risk, as they did back in the day, and put a different title out, like, I don't know, a Breath of Fire or a Rival Schools or something, you know. But as I said before, though, all that to the side, if you are a Capcom fan, you are, you know, eating well, right? We are doing fantastic at the moment. Capcom really seems to be firing on all cylinders. They're really delivering on so many games. The company really seems to have, like, you know, turned the corner, right? Because it wasn't just so long ago you couldn't really say this about Capcom. Just a couple of years ago, the company was going in the opposite direction, right? They had lost their AAA rating. They were doing all these type of weird gimmicks and scams, you know, putting paid DLC on discs already. You know, they seem to really be selling us, you know, multiple copies of the game, trying to swindle every little bit of penny out of us. I mean, how many versions of Street Fighter 4 did we get? We then had Street Fighter X Tekken with that fiasco. Then Street Fighter 5 debuted just horrifically. It really seemed the company was just dropping the ball in every corner. And it was, you know, it hurt, right? It was devastating to see, especially for myself, who I'm such a huge Capcom fan. I really believe and love the company and the stuff they do, and I find their games so exciting and fun. So for them to falter and really be in that little dark age, it was it was dark, right? I didn't like it, but, you know, definitely something happened, and I think it's the company kind of heard the message, right? I think people who spoke with their wallets and let Capcom know, hey, we don't like what's happening, and we kind of want you to, not kind of, but we want you to go back to the way you used to do things, right? When you used to show so much love to your products and games. I mean, can you believe it that there was a time during the 90s where Capcom was putting out multiple games in a year? Multiple. I mean, we were legit getting like 5, 6, 7 titles from them in the same year or 2 years, right? Like, it's incredible. I remember looking at my back catalog of library of games, and I would see, like, Street Fighter EX 1997, Rival Schools 1997, you know, Mega Man Legends 1997, Mega Man X4. It was just, I kept thinking, like, damn, this game came out the same year, this game came out the next year. Like, they were putting out so much content. It was incredible. Now, we also know it also kind of hurt them. You know, they were putting out too much content, and it kind of you know, oversaturated, and they were just swallowing themselves, right? That's the problem when you put too much out. You're competing with yourself, and then you're not really getting your stuff out there. So it definitely caused a problem. But I love how right now, you know, we seem to be kind of getting back to that slowly, right? We had Devil May Cry 5 that came out. We've had, obviously, all the Resident Evil games that came out, Village. I mean, we have Resident Evil 4 remake coming out. They did the remake of 2 and 3. We then, of course, we had Street Fighter 5 with all the content they kept putting out, but we also knew Street Fighter 6 was coming out right around the corner. We had the Monster Hunter games out. We had Monster Hunter World and all the DLC that had, and then Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch and all the DLC that had. Now we just got word that Dragon's Dogma, not just got word, but we knew a couple months ago, but Dragon's Dogma 2 was going to be coming out. We have Exo Primal out, which actually surprisingly looks pretty fun at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't think it, but it definitely does looks decent. And then they have another game, I think Pragmata or something, right? So Capcom's working on quite a bit, right? Quite a bit of content. You know, we just had the Capcom Fighting Collection drop, so they're definitely putting stuff out. And I love it. I love it, and it's a great time right now to be a Capcom fan. We are sitting so well with all this stuff, and the company just really seems to have turned that direction, right? I mean, look no further than Street Fighter 6. Look at the stuff they're doing with that. I mean, they're polishing that to no end, right? Which I love it. They're giving us so much content. The game looks incredible. They've clearly taken the lessons learned from the Street Fighter 5 debacle and have turned that around. And they're giving us an actual finished product, which we couldn't say about Street Fighter 5. So I'm so happy to be a Capcom fan. I just hope it continues, and I just hope that we get to see, you know, in addition to new titles, I hope we get to see also one or two old titles come back, right? I know, like as I said before, you gotta look at the climate and if the game's gonna sell, but I really would love it if they brought just something back. It doesn't have to be Darkstalkers. Heck, it could be Power Stone, you know, Tech Romance. It could be any one of those beautiful titles that came out, and I would be absolutely over the moon. But you know, I understand that, you know, you gotta look at the climate, you gotta look at what's great, and the company's gotta think about, you know, what sells, what works for them. But I just want to go out and say that I'm just so happy right now with the stuff they're doing. Resident Evil 4 remake's looking great. I was really skeptical about that title. Resident Evil 4 is, you know, honestly pretty much perfection, right? It is Resident Evil perfection, and it was been the best Resident Evil game for quite some time. And it was one of those titles where, like, people were kind of thinking like, you don't need to do a remake. Like, the game is great the way it is, right? Visually it looks amazing, the story was great, the gameplay, like there weren't any real flaws with the title. So it was kind of a surprise, like you might screw it up, but from what we've seen so far, nah, it's looking great. And you know what kind of restored a little bit of my faith in that was when I look back at the Resident Evil 2 remake and how such a banging job they did with that. So I'm like, yeah, I think these guys got it, man. So whoever's running Capcom right now, these guys, they definitely got their fingers on the correct pulse. They know what's happening, and I'm just saluting. I'm happy. Like I said, we're just happy because, you know, a couple of years ago we couldn't say that, right? The company was just a shell of themselves, but they've definitely heard the message. They definitely switched direction, switched path, and you know, they're providing content. So that was just me. Just want to kind of just give my flowers to the company and just say, you know, thanks with the stuff they're doing now. I'm so happy, and I can't wait for all the titles I just listed and also the future ones that are going to be coming out. Hopefully we get, you know, more games and also just some old franchises to come back. That would be fantastic. But hey, man, let's keep it going. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys are happy with the current stuff Capcom's doing. Maybe you're unhappy. Maybe you're just still upset because the games you would like to see haven't been done yet. Or just, you know, let me know if you have any ideas for any other games that you would like to see Capcom do. But as always, with that being said, I want y'all to please take care and have a wonderful day. And then please like and subscribe. Thank you.